So today the government finally announced its 95% guarantee mortgage scheme. If you saw the budget today, you would know that the Chancellor announced the 95% government-backed mortgage scheme. And in this video, we're going to go over some pros and some cons and the overall dynamics on how it's going to work and who it's eligible for. So first and foremost, the scheme is valid from April 2021 until December 2022. So this isn't going to be a continuing scheme that's going to go on forever like other Help to Buy schemes and incentives like that. This is purely to get the mortgage market back to where it was before the COVID pandemic. In the government paperwork, which I've read today, they have said that as they approach the December deadline, they will look at the figures, they'll look at the mortgages to see if the scheme does need to be extended. But at the moment, they're planning for it to end in December 2022. So the government's aim with this scheme is to make it simple for banks to implement and also buyers to take advantage of. This scheme is very similar to the scheme the government brought back in 2013 with their Help to Buy guarantee scheme. So banks are going to be familiar with how the scheme's going to work, and also they should be able to tell the buyers and the people taking out these mortgages how it's going to work in simple forms. The government are very keen and have made it very clear they do not want this scheme to start encouraging irresponsible lending by banks like they did before the financial crisis in 2008. So if you do take out one of these 95% mortgages, then you are still going to be subject to the same credit and affordability checks that were in place before this scheme was announced. There are a few rules as to what you need to be and the criteria you need to sort of fit for to take advantage of this scheme. And the first one is that it has to be a residential mortgage. So you can't use this scheme to buy a buy-to-let, which you generally need a 20 or 25% mortgage. So it's just for people buying their own home as a residential property. So any investors out there thinking they can take advantage of this, you're not going to be able to. The mortgage scheme cannot be used if you're using a company to buy a property either. So if you're thinking of taking advantage of no stamp duty, we'll do a video on that tomorrow, and you're thinking of buying it in a company name, you're not going to qualify for this 95% guaranteed mortgage scheme. You have to be buying it as a residential in a personal name. The maximum amount that this scheme is going to be eligible for is £600,000. So that's going to help people in London where house prices are generally higher. So if the property is worth up to £600,000, you can use this scheme. So the loan to value ratio for the amount of mortgage you're going to be able to get using this scheme is between 91 and 95%. So you're going to need a minimum of 5% or a maximum of 9% to be able to take advantage of this scheme. As we mentioned previous in the video, there is a time scale on this scheme, and that runs from April 2021 until December 2022. That may be extended depending on the circumstances and the situation we find ourselves in, but you must probably complete by December 2022 to take advantage. And again, you're going to have to go through the same credit and affordability calculations to make sure that you're not going to be overstretching yourself by taking out this 95% mortgage. So you're going to have to go through all those same barriers as you would if you had a 10% deposit. The banks also have to offer you, using this scheme, a 5-year fixed rate mortgage deal. That way you know as a buyer what your mortgage payments are going to be for 5 years, and that's not going to change. And over those 5 years, you should notice that hopefully the house price has increased in value, so your equity is building up, and also you've started to pay back some of the capital that you borrowed from the bank. So at the end of 5 years, you should find yourself with more than that 5% deposit that you put down. I've gone through all the 13 pages of paperwork with this scheme that the government issued today, and I can't see anywhere where it's limited to just first-time buyers. Although it's probably aimed at first-time buyers to help them get on the ladder, I think the scheme is going to be for everyone. Everyone looking to buy a house for themselves can take advantage of this 95% government scheme. Also, I couldn't see anywhere in the paperwork that it's just for new builds. And I think that's a really, really good thing. For years and years and years, builders have been lining their pockets with buyers using the Help to Buy scheme to buy these new build properties because they're the only properties that the Help to Buy has been available on. But now this scheme is going to be available for any property in England, second hand, third hand, brand new. So that means the pool of properties that you can pick from with this government mortgage is going to be the whole of the market. You're not limited to just new builds. But is it all roses and flowers? I don't think so. Whenever there is lots and lots of buyers, and with this mortgage scheme, there is going to be so many more people who can afford to buy now, that is going to create competition for the few properties which are on the market at the moment. At the moment, we're noticing that stocks are around 50% less than what they were a year, 18 months ago. So buyers are already fighting over the few houses that they have available now. If there's all of a sudden going to be a lot more first-time buyers who are able to buy somewhere, this is going to increase the competition for the properties that are available and push those prices up even more. The government have helped buyers be able to get onto the property ladder. I think there's only one direction which house prices are going to go over the next year, 18 months, and that is going to continue to go up. Much like the new builds have experienced over the last 7, 8, 9 years with the Help to Buy scheme, I think we're going to see this on pre-owned properties as well. So this is just one of the announcements regarding property, and we're going to cover in this video. Let me know what you think about the 95% government guaranteed mortgage scheme in the comments below. If you've liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you think this video will help somebody, please share it. Thank you so much for watching. Really keen to hear what you guys think of it in the comments down below. I'm going to do a video on the stamp duty announcement as well tomorrow, so subscribe, hit the bell so you get that video notification. Hope you're all well, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.